Welcome to Slow and Steady, the podcast where you get to follow along as we figure out how to build products and recover from burnout. I'm Brian.
And I'm Benedikt. Each week we'll give you an honest peek into our lives as we figure things out. Today is June 8th and I'm feeling exhausted.
This is episode number 94. I am in Jefferson, Ohio, and I am feeling scattered. And I think that I am also feeling quite a bit of network lag. Is that true, Benedikt?
That might be the case. I don't. It varies. Let's put it that way. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes a little bit more, but we'll deal with this. We'll make this work.
Yeah, we're gonna wing it here and see how it goes.
Editing this week, so I don't care about anything.
Yeah, fair enough. I think I am about to cause a little bit more editing necessities with this new setup. Hey, last episode was really great with Benedikt. I mean, is that
I enjoyed that episode
name?
very much. Yeah, I realized after the fact, like, she can totally replace both of us.
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
Just from the name, like either there's another Ray on there or another Benedikt on.
Yes.
So
yeah,
perfect replacement.
It was such a good episode. I loved hearing her thoughts, hearing what she's up to. Is really cool. Are you inspired to do some more live streams?
Yeah, like we did the live stream. We agreed on.
Yeah.
So that one went well. I kind of want to do more, but I'm also not quite sure about. Well, yeah, like how to just commit to it. I think that's the biggest challenge. Like, saying yes, I'm going to do this, and this is the time and date I will be streaming every week. I think that's the one obstacle I have to take if I want to do this.
Well, I mean, I can talk a little bit more about what's going on with us a little bit later, but you've got some really great updates in the notes that I want to hear about, man.
Yeah, so let's get the first one out of the box, I guess. Finally done with the old house. There's nothing left to do. We handed over all the keys. We got our deposit back. That was like my main concern.
Woo.
So,
yeah.
That chapter is closed. Kind of in the last couple of days, it just became like a burden, and it kind of also makes it easy to look ahead and like really be done with it, because now like the other places, I'm not going to say it's like a lot of bad emotions, but like it's not all positive anymore. So I feel like makes it easy to move on and look into the future.
Yes.
So that's one achievement. Sure. And the more exciting achievement of the last week or two, I don't quite remember when it happened, but Userlist passed the magic 8.333 MRR.
Amazing.
So we're now a 6-figure ARR company.
Yep.
Which is kind of still not a lot of money, but like it's a nice milestone, and I'm glad we finally made it.
Yeah. Yes, it's a great milestone. How, man, I would love to. Does it feel like the milestones are starting to happen a little more regularly or faster, or does it still feel like, I don't know, is this going to work or not? Or like, what's your vibe right now? What's your mood?
It feels like it's picking up a little bit, but I think it's mostly because of expansion revenue from existing customers.
Okay.
Like if I want to be happy, then I look at the MRR growth, and if I want to be depressed, I look at new trials.
Okay. Interesting.
So it's MRR is moving into the right direction, but I think it's mostly because of existing customers. Like we get some new ones, but I think that's still not where it should be. But yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining. I take every win that we can celebrate.
Yeah. That's incredible, man. 100,000 ARR.
Yeah, yeah, feels nice to be finally there. Like, what was
Yeah.
what made this hard? I'm not sure when I think I mentioned this to you a couple episodes ago that we are close to breaking that number. And of course, like a
Yeah.
couple days after, we had some decent revenue churn, and we were like set back by a decent chunk. So we had to climb up there again. But
Yeah.
this time we made it across, and
But you did it.
it
Yeah.
didn't fall down again. So let's hope it stays there.
Well, sure. Yeah. No. Whether it trickles back, I mean, it definitely seems like the the growth has been. I know that it's been slower than you've wanted, but it's there. It does seem like one little step at a time.
Yeah.
Y'all keep moving things in the right direction, and what is the have you do you know what the expansion revenue is can be most attributed to? Are there patterns there that you're picking up, or is that also something that needs some more
I
research?
think that's most of this is just our customers being successful and just like having more users in
Uh-huh.
there. And of course, like we have a
Okay.
couple of
Okay.
customers who run freemium models. So for them,
Yeah.
when they have a good month, like they send a lot of new users into Userlist, and of course, like the more users
Mhm.
that are in there, the more we charge them. So when our customers have good months or a good week or whatever, we have a good
Yeah,
week.
right.
So that
You have a good
that
week.
helps.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. Okay. That's cool. Good deal. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
What else is happening?
Um, on the product side, we're making progress on the marketing features. Finally, like I'm back into code and writing code and deploying code and making progress, which
Mhm.
feels good about like after the last couple of weeks being kind of slow on the product side. But we shipped the identity resolution stuff that I talked about a couple episodes ago. So
Yep.
that's in there. We can now handle like users with email address and no identifier with just identifiers,
Yep.
or we magically map email addresses to identifiers and vice versa when you
Mhm.
update your users accordingly. So that's pretty exciting. There was
That's
basically
awesome.
the one thing that that was missing to make it work for like the existing customers that started like that are using the marketing beta basically, because they could send like customers in there and they could send marketing leads in there, but we wouldn't resolve them into the same
Okay.
user, but like treat them
Got it.
separately. And now we do that, and it all just like works nicely. So the next thing I'm working
Sweet.
on this week is developed ins, because we feel like that's the other missing key part that Userlist doesn't do right now. That is kind of a must-have for a marketing automation tool or an email marketing tool. Or so I
Yeah.
thought,
Yep.
because while doing some research, I noticed that some of our competitors don't do that at all. So it's just, I don't know. I assume this is a standard requirement, but apparently some like just have a nice guide in their help documentation on how to set up a custom workflow or whatever that replicates the double opt-in functionality within their system. Which of course, yeah, you can do this, but it feels like this should be a core feature to me.
Uh, are you so what's your take on the fact that your some of your competitors don't don't offer that? Is it not as in demand as you think, or do you have the sense that it is demand and it's going to be a something that you guys can differentiate off of quite effectively?
I haven't thought about it that way, to be honest. As I said, like up until like earlier this week, I assumed that this like is a standard requirement. Like, why would you have a
Yeah,
email marketing tool that doesn't have like confirmation emails and opt-in
yeah,
links?
yeah.
Um, But I mean, yeah, sure. Like from a marketer standpoint, of course, like the double opt-in is kind of more like an annoyance. You don't really want to do it.
Yep.
But
Yep.
at least if you're from Europe, it's kind of like it's the law, basically. You have to do it.
Requirement. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like in the end, if you want to set up your system correctly, you kind of have to do it if you want it or not. And for that, I feel like it should be a core feature of the tool you're using.
Yeah.
And especially
For sure.
it's also
Go ahead. Go ahead.
it's also kind of spam and fraud prevention in a way, because the double opt-in is basically the only thing that's stopping people from signing up random email addresses to random mailing lists, and
Mm-hmm.
feels like the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I wonder if there's a a privacy, security angle to to leverage there and market off of, especially if considering that not all of your competitors do that right now.
Yeah.
How long do you how long is it going to take you to get this spec'd out and built? Do you have any sense of what you're running into here?
I kind of want to get it done this week or latest next week, at
Oh,
least some version of it.
nice.
Um,
Nice.
but I already like discovered some complications, so to say, because it's not as easy as toggling a flag on the user profiles. That's what I assumed I just do.
Okay.
But then,
Uh-huh.
like there are open questions. Like, for example, think about having a sign up form on your website where you enter your email address,
Okay.
and then the default easy cases. Yeah, shortly afterwards you get an email and you click that email and you're subscribed. The next time someone sends a newsletter, you receive that newsletter. But
Yes.
like now, when we think about automations, we probably want to do stuff like when people submit this particular form, then we want to send them a lead magnet or this particular email course or something like that.
Right.
So now I have
Yes.
to basically fire an event for that user that they submitted this form, and that event will trigger an automation. But I can only do this after they opted in. So I kind of have to fire the event or store the event and then wait for them to opt in and
Yeah.
then replay the event and pretend it just happened.
Yeah.
And like there are a lot of
Mhm.
like weird little things that I'm not entirely sure how to solve yet.
Yeah, that feels like that could get into some seems simple but kind of confusing and hard to maintain queue management type of stuff. Is that like
Yeah,
what it's going to end up looking
yeah,
like?
I fear it will be something like that. And the thing I fear is that there will be so many edge cases hidden around the application that it will be a pain
Yeah,
to hunt them
right.
down one by one. So I'm still racking my brain about how am I going to do this, and how am I going to do this in a way that doesn't make my life harder than it already is.
Right. Well, and I wonder in that case, like, so somebody comes, they put in their email address because they're going to receive a lead magnet, and then 24 hours after that, I want to send a follow up email. But if the visitor doesn't double opt in for like another 12 hours, I mean, it's going to send the lead magnet right away, and then the follow up email 12 hours later or 24 hours later,
Yeah,
so on and so forth. Like, yeah,
yeah,
okay.
exactly this. So
Yeah.
yeah, you
Yeah.
can, like we discussed, like just like starting the automations when people sign up, and then, as you said, like just
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
basically queuing the emails and not sending them for a while.
Yeah.
But what if
Yeah.
people then
Yeah.
click the sign
But
up,
then
the opt-in link like 3 days after? Do we send them like all 12 emails that are already queued
then
up?
they get 12 emails. Yeah.
That's also not an
Yes.
option.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's tricky.
Huh. Well, good luck. Good luck with it. Good luck.
Thanks. I'll report back next week or
Uh,
so how it's all going.
How's it going? Yes. Totally.
Yeah.
What else going on over there
Um, yeah, I think that's about it.
besides being well on your way to 10,000 MRR?
Yeah, that's like the next. That's like the next big
That's the next big
milestone,
milestone,
especially
huh?
as it's also kind of when
Yeah.
we'd be profitable,
Oh,
depending on the
sweet.
month. So
Yes.
yeah, if we keep our spending low, we can.
Uh-huh.
Like last month, we paid 1.5, like all our expenses plus 1.5 of our salaries. So we're getting there.
Okay. Okay. Getting there. Oh,
Yeah.
dude. So I just
So looking
it
forward to
just
the
feels
day.
like it's yeah, of course, of course. Slow and steady, but it feels like it's happening.
Yeah.
I hope it's happening.
Yeah, I hope so
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's about it. The other
Um,
thing I already mentioned that
cool.
happened this week is the live stream with Benedikt went super
Yeah.
nice. We integrated Userlist or migrated her product POW to Userlist, and we did it
Mhm.
like 4 ways, which is kind of funny. And we did like
It's awesome.
4 ways to integrate or migrate to Userlist within an hour. And so we did a CSV import. We set up a Zapier Zap
Okay.
to get signups from her Squarespace website into Userlist. We
Uh-huh.
changed her one-off migration script to pull data out of Userbase and send it to Userlist. And we set up or started working on a serverless function in her API that sends users into Userlist when people sign up. So it was
Okay.
kind of fun.
That is awesome. Where can people check that out? Where do we find that?
It's on YouTube. Unfortunately, there once again was a little mishap with that exposed some API keys that shouldn't have been exposed.
Ah,
So she's
okay.
still editing that one out, but once it's up there, I think we can link to it.
Okay, cool, cool. So it will be there, but it's not quite there yet.
Yeah, it's not
That's what
quite
you're
there yet, but I hope so.
all
Hope
right.
it will be there
Right on.
soon.
Soon. Excellent. Well, looking forward to seeing more live streams from you.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyways, like
Um,
you like probably have a ton more to tell because the reason
well,
why we didn't
oh,
record last
man.
week is because you started your 14 months on the road.
Yeah, yeah, we did. We are on day 9 right now. I'm in Kinnessee Lake RV campground outside of Jefferson, Ohio. So on Sunday afternoon, we hit the road, man. We left Boulder and headed east toward Nebraska. Um, it was pouring down rain as we were packing, trying to get packed up and get out of the door. And so my wife goes down into the basement, to like put a box, a packed up box into storage. And then I hear all this shouting run down there, and the one of our window wells in the basement was leaking,
Ooh.
and so there's just rain just pouring into the basement. Um, and and so like, okay, yeah, of course this just happened. So I mean, I just had to like dig an emergency, trench to get to
Mm-hmm.
redirect the water away from the house, and just emergency blah blah blah, and to before we and then we could get somebody over to fix it for good. Um, and so in the end, that ended up just being like an hour and a half, 2 hours, sort of small emergency. But if we had left just hours earlier, then our renters would have shown up the next day with just a ruined basement, and all of our stuff would have been ruined. Like, I just don't even want to think about the alternate reality in which that is what
Yeah,
in which that happened.
very
It's
true.
like, of course, I mean, we've owned this house for 7 years, and of course, the rainstorm that floods the basement is the one hours before we leave for this epic journey. So that was a stressful start. Exciting start to the trip, but yeah, we hopped over. I mean, so the short of it is what we've done so far is we left Boulder and then we went to North Platte, Nebraska, and spent the night in a Walmart parking lot in the trailer.
Ah,
And
romantic.
then and we yes, so romantic. Just I mean, just we told the kids that we were going to show them America, and so um, and then the next day popped over to Grinnell, Iowa, another Walmart parking lot. But then the next day we were in Amboy, Illinois, at this RV park with playground and swimming pool, and so we were there for 2 days. The kids could chill. Then Indiana Dunes State Park, which is really amazing, right on the shore of Lake Michigan, which is so gigantic. Like it just looks like an ocean. It's wild that that's just a lake. And now we're here. Now we're here in Ohio for 4 nights. And I was so excited because I thought that we were here for 5 nights, which would have meant that our trip would have started with the Fibonacci sequence of 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. It was so close. When I realized that, I got so excited, and Laura was like, "Oh, we're only here for 4 nights." So I
Aw.
begged her to extend it to 5. Yeah, can we please extend it to 5 just for that reason? But it would mess everything else up. So unfortunately, had to end at 1, 1, 2, 3. But still, but let's see. I mean, I gotta like I am not in any sort of rhythm at all yet. And I mean, we're only 9 days in, but just in terms of like getting settled into a work day, um, that doesn't feel in any way like what natural isn't quite the right word, but I haven't gotten into a rhythm yet because there's still just so many things with the truck and the trailer that I need to iron some wrinkles out. And the air conditioner's super loud, so I'm researching how to fix that. The battery's not charging when we're driving, so I need to sort that out. Like a couple of little projects here and there that I haven't finished up, just things like that it feels like we're not in a rhythm.
Hmm.
And so I'm looking forward to getting those last few things sorted out. So it's like my workday starts and I come over here to my workstation and get some stuff done. And I mean, we're recording at a completely different time than we ever have before because I goofed up my logistics. And so thanks so much for for being flexible. But I mean, things like that I can't wait to get them all. Can't wait to get it sorted out.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I see like there have been little glimpses of wow, this is really amazing, this is the life. Just riding around on bikes with the whole family around the campground to go to the swimming pool, and um fishing with my daughter last night. Just little things were just like, okay, this is going to be really really fun, this is going to be really cool. I just got to get into a work routine so that I can feel like I'm maintaining some progress and some momentum
Hmm.
on work. Um but it's still very, I mean, it's early, so I'm not disheartened at all. Just yeah, just
Yeah.
anxious to get it dialed in.
Yeah. Are you planning to like what's the typical duration for a stay at one location?
Yeah, that's a great question. So they'll definitely get longer. Um after we as we go along, like right now, going from Colorado and trying to get up to Maine, to Acadia National Park in Maine. um that's kind of why we're doing these like little stops along the Midwest, for just a few days, a
Hmm.
handful of days, so that it's just not a just brutal 12-hour days one after the other to get to Maine. But once we get up there, then things typically become, I think, somewhere between like 6 and 10 days for
Hmm.
most of our stays. So that I think that'll be really nice. I mean, even just being at Indiana Dunes for 3 nights felt like, oh yeah, we can really get settled in here. So once those become 6, 8, and 10 day stays, then it'll be even better.
Yeah. Sounds like yeah, once you have everything figured out and like Well, I guess like even with with getting more practice, like probably even getting settled into a new camping ground and like getting everything set up and getting back
Yeah.
into a routine will probably be easier over time. But just like not having to pack everything and like set everything
Yeah.
back up again every couple of days probably also helps with like getting into a flow of like work or
Ye-
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That has, I mean, even though it has been like, boom, boom, boom here early on, it's actually been good because we are still like getting our list together and, order of operations, sequence of packing. And so by doing it so regularly, like, okay, add that to the list. Okay, let's get that list updated. And
Yeah.
so that's been helpful. But I mean, every single time it just feels like, high stakes to to hook the trailer up to the truck. Like, don't overlook a single thing. Don't do anything out of order. But I think it'll eventually become second
Do you have a
nature, and we'll
checklist
have our
like a
checklist.
pilot on a plane?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Oh boy. But I mean, by the time we get done with this thing, I'll be ready to back anything up anywhere into anything. But for now it still feels a little bit wild.
Nice.
So that's that's taking up all of my mental energy at the right now. It's just feeling like wanting to get things sorted out, get things in order, trying to keep my client projects, inching forward, like moving along. But it is definitely right now it's been difficult, but it'll get there. Yeah. So that's what's up with me. That's what's happening over here. I'll put a photo up on Twitter of where we are right now, so you can see where this one was being recorded from.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, be good.
Cool. Then
So,
I guess that's it for this week.
yeah, that's all I've got, man. Next week, I think I'll be talking to you from somewhere in New York, I want to say. I think that's right. I think New York. somewhere out there. That is definitely something that I will need to get better at, is looking forward on the calendar. But that'll be our next location.
Very cool. Then talk to you next week from New York, I guess.
Wonderful. All right, man. Good catching up. Talk later.
Bye.